What's going on, all you gamers? Today we're going to be jumping into a bit of Monster Hunter Rise, and I'm going to be giving you some amazing tips, perfect for those beginners who want the best possible start to the game. If that interests you, stay tuned. That's coming up next. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be looking at some tips for Monster Hunter Rise. I have really been looking forward to this game. It's been out for a while on PC and on Switch, but now it's come to the consoles, so that Xbox and PlayStation people get a chance to play this great game. Now, as always, if this does help you out, a like would be appreciated, and if you'd like to see more of the latest content from me, then why not hit that subscribe and bell icon. But for now, we're going to be jumping into all the tips you need to know in order to get a great start to this game. So kicking it off, and we have the village. You're going to be spending a lot of time in the village. There's a lot going on here, a lot of the locals, and there's a lot of people that you'll want to be talking to in order to get the most from this game. You're going to have things like the merchant just over here, as well as the blacksmith, which is vital in this game for upgrading your armour and such, as well as some cool other places like the Buddy Plaza that you're definitely going to want to check out. There's a lot to see in this game and a lot to do, so venture around the village, have a little look around, and more will unlock as you progress through the storyline of the game. Now, a massive part of Monster Hunter Rise is going to be the quests. The quests in this game come in two kind of segments. You're going to have your single player experience, which is going to be your village quests. You're going to be making your way through the start difficulties, completing urgent quests, and ranking up as you go. However, like I said, there is also a multiplayer aspect to this game. That's going to be your hub area just over here. In this location, you're going to have a guild store, which is perfect for grabbing up some extra goodies, and another quest counter, allowing you to pick up completely separate quests to the one you had before. Be aware, these ones are, like I said, completely separate, so the star rating will be different. And because it's multiplayer, they will be expecting more people to take these on, so the enemies will have much higher health and will in general be a little bit tougher. Now, one thing we have to mention is when you're out on the hunt. The first thing you probably want to do will be to look in your supply box and just grab up a few of the items from there. Then you'll be unlocking your map and making your way through the terrain, but a nice and easy thing you can do in order to mark your prey on the Xbox is to tap in your analog. As you're making your way through, you're going to want to pick up everything you can, and one of the most vital things to know is that some of the endemic life in this game is well worth going out of your way for. Like this one just here, is what you need in order to fill up your health bar or stamina bar back to its fullest extent. The colours of these vary. The green and the yellow ones will be the main ones you'll be looking out for, as because you'll be doing a lot of battles in this game, your bars will decrease to a certain extent, and the only way you'll be able to maximise them will be through picking these up. Keep an eye out for items, make sure you're picking everything up as you go, especially the bone piles and anything you can mine. Keep doing this whilst you're heading towards your tracked target, and eventually you'll have tracked down the monster you're after, and be in a much better place in order to take it on. Stocking up is going to be essential in this game. Anytime you can pick something up, anytime you find something, pretty much grab it, as it's going to be absolutely essential. But another great thing you can do is at any point you can fast travel straight back to your tent. Here you can eat a meal if you want to power up a little bit, change your equipment over, and the most important thing I'd say, we probably stock up on your items. Go to your item box and you can replenish any of the items that you've acquired throughout your travels. Especially early game, knowing this and being able to chuck a load of health potions into your stock whenever you want can definitely help you out and can make the toughest enemies much easier. Another thing to note with your map, if you want to zoom in on it, that may help out massively, especially at the start if you're trying to gather resources, as a lot of times you may not know the location perfectly and you might find it hard to find certain ways into specific areas. Jumping over to the movement, and much like in the original Monster Hunter world, you're able to slide your way to victory, you're able to do a normal little jog, or even burst into a run. But what better way to get around the world than jumping on your trusty Palamute just here, as it can run very fast, you don't take full damage so you can jump from pretty much any height, and it's able to traverse things much easier than you would any other way. You can also do a dash if you want to get around even faster, and as you can see here, he can climb up some of the toughest vines. However, that's not the only thing you've got on your arsenal. You've also got one of these, which is going to be your wire bug. If you want to target a specific area and kind of grapple line your way there, then this is going to be the way to do it. Perfect if you're trying to get up onto some rocky terrain. So with all of this in your arsenal, there's really no reason that you should be hanging around. One of the main things you're going to be doing in this game is going to be crafting. If you head to your trusty blacksmith, he's going to have a whole bunch of options for you, all the way from forging weapons and armour to upgrading them as well. There are an absolute abundance of different sets in this game, and you can check out their style if you want to look absolutely amazing, and each piece's resistance, defense and what it's going to bring to your hunter. One of the main things you'll probably want to do is to check out each piece's skill info, as some of the skills you can get on these can actually be quite game changing. For example, this one right here, Critical Eye, which is going to help your affinity and will mean you'll be able to do critical strikes much easier. When you're first setting out in this game, find yourself a weapon you enjoy using, don't worry about the meta, and just create something that you find works for you. Bear in mind the higher the stats of the attack, sharpness, element and affinity in general means that the weapon will be a superior product. Now another thing to look at will be your side quests. Pretty much at the same place we were looking at earlier, you're going to be going to your quest maiden and then you're going to go to your optional side quests. These are well worth doing whenever you can. You can stack up to 5 of these maximum, but anytime you're completing them you're going to be getting additional rewards, and you'll be completing these whilst you carry out your normal missions as well. These are one of the best ways, especially early game, in order to get your hands on additional rewards, especially things like armor spheres, which can make your armor's defense even tougher and make your life just a whole bunch easier. A lot of Monster Hunter Rise is going to involve you fighting some creature or another, so combat is definitely something we should cover. Now combat will be slightly different depending on what kind of equipment you're using, but like I said, just find something that suits your playstyle. Whether you want to be further back and taking them out with a bowgun, or some of the easier starting choices will probably be that of daggers for their quick and nimble movement, or of course you could switch straight over to the longsword with great range, nice damage and just very easy to use all around. Each enemy will have a different range of attacks, some will be tougher than others, and some you'll need to look out for their weak spots. If in doubt though, a lot of times underneath them is usually a good idea, or finding their weak spot or going for their head works ideal. For even more versatility, a little ways into the game, you're going to want to speak to this fella right here, Master Utsushi, and he'll talk to you about switch skills. Switch skills are skills you can put on your equipment in order to do a lot of extra damage. There are many different ones to collect and you'll get more as you progress through the game, but they're a lot of fun to use and they can really turn the tide of battle. Next up, and we've got to go over our buddies. Buddies are essential in this game, from your Palico to the Palamute. These are going to be the ones that keep you alive and help you to dish out extra damage. Going over to the Buddy Smith, they each get their own equipment, which is absolutely amazing because it makes them even tougher. Kit them out however you want, or you can craft new gear in order to make them the perfect companion. Or making your way to the Buddy Plaza, you can also scout out some new companions if you're looking for ones with different skills and abilities, such as this one right here, which actually has some really good ones straight away, such as Critical Up and Knockout King. In fact, I'm actually going to buy this one, so let's welcome Rock to the team. Just over from here and we have the Buddy Dojo. This is going to be where you train your buddies that are on standby, allowing them to rank up even if you're not taking them into battle. This can be very handy as they're going to unlock new skills as they go, but it will cost you more points the more rounds you're after them fighting. Lastly, if you go back to your tent when you're out on an adventure, you can go straight up to the buddy board and change up some of the things about your companions. For example, how they tackle enemies, or probably the main thing you're going to be after will be if you want to switch up the skills that they're taking into that battle. Last but definitely not least, and we have the extras. If you go over to this fella right here, Senri the Mailman, he's going to be your courier. He's going to allow you to go online if you want to set up a multiplayer game with you and your friends, but also he's going to show you all of the DLC that you've now got included with this game. Like I said, this game's been out for a while on other platforms, but for Xbox and PlayStation, this will be our first time playing it. As such, there is an absolute abundance of DLC available from the start, which is pretty spectacular because some of them are really good. You won't be able to do all of these from the start, but it's well worth knowing, especially things like this that gives you a massive amount of honey, allowing you to make mega medicine easy, which will help greatly from the start of the game. If you do select one of the quests that you want to take, then you're going to go back to the hub, speak to the receptionist there, and it's going to come up as an event that you'll need to complete. Like I said, not all of these will be low level, but it is definitely worth knowing in order to get your hands on some amazing gear from the start. Right, you gamers, hopefully that's helped a few of you guys and girls out. No doubt I've spent too long on this, but as always, for all things gaming, take care. I'll see you next day.